Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers, the only Smash Bros. Themed podcast where one of the hosts likes to put pink llamas in the camera frame. I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister, and that's Jonno, otherwise known as the Pink Llama Enthusiast. And
And
this
I
is
am
my
Tasho,
life.
the Wander Llama.
I thought it was the Party
Hello,
Llama.
one and all. The Party Llama. Hello, everyone. Let us party in the morning time.
Yeah, because due to schedules and things and malarkey, we are recording the opposite time of day than we usually do. Usually we start at
Literally,
like
that's a 12-hour difference.
9, yeah, 11, really.
7.
7?
Yeah.
How's it a 7 hour
9.
difference? What the
9,
fuck?
11.
No, shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry. 9 your time. There you go.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were saying 7 hour difference, not 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
So
Yeah.
we're basically 11 hours off from work because normally we record at like 9 p.m. my time. Now it's 10 a.m. my time. It's like, I had to wake up this morning. I hate it. It's Saturday. Why? No, it's Sunday. Fuck. Damn it. I streamed Ni no Kuni later today.
Go check it out if you happen to be listening to us several weeks before we publish this episode.
Well, this episode will publish on a Saturday, which means I'll be playing Final Fantasy 16 today. Assuming you watch this on time, because I'll be done with that game, with both those games eventually. But not by the time. Actually, I don't know when this episode's coming out. I'll be real with you. I don't know how many weeks ahead we are right now. I'm tired.
A while. It's a while ahead.
Yeah, I kind of want to go look. Little over a month. I'll still be playing both the games. I'm not going to be done with them yet. I'm pretty sure. I might be getting towards the end or in the post game stuff. But anyways, we're here. It's a Smash Dash episode, and last season we did something experimental with the Smash Dash episode. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, we became LOL so random.
We did become LOL so random. We were like, hey, let's take 10 ideas each, 10 random ideas each, put them on a spinny wheel, spin the spinny wheel, and that's who we're going to talk about. And we liked it so much we decided to do it again. Yeah. So, while you guys know from the title of the video, or the podcast, wherever the hell you're watching this, you know who we're talking about. But we currently don't ourselves. That's fun for us. Somehow. We do it because there's some characters that we just wouldn't be talking about normally. Raidou chances, it's kind of, especially with Raidou chances, we can really do whatever we want. But then even with Smash Dash, it's like, hey, there's some characters that we kind of want to talk about, but they don't have good opponents. And no matter who we put this character up against, they depending on the character, they're like an easy win or an easy loss. I'm saying, well, that's sad. But if we have just sheer randomness, who knows what the fuck could happen? Last year we still had some that kind of made sense. We had Mallow versus Phosphor. It's like, god damn it. We have two that thematically fit. Fucking Christ. How did we do that randomly? I'm fucking pissed. I don't remember what the second matchup was, but I'm pretty sure it also matched up thematically. It's like, how are we doing this? We literally spun the wheel on camera.
It was Croc and DJ Jr. Which now I
less
remember.
Fitting, but yeah.
For your grift, or you're like, yeah, it's obviously Croc. I'm just like, what?
Hey, you have a retro attachment to Junior. I have a retro attachment to Croc. So yeah, it was obviously Croc for me.
Legend of the Gabos has been remastered and released recently.
Did it actually release?
Yeah,
I missed its release. Hang on.
Yeah, it's out.
When did it happen?
When did it?
Oh, wow, really recently. It was just April.
There you go.
Which by the time the subs comes out
Oh.
is
Mm-hmm.
a while more
Almost 3
than
months away.
longer ago than it is for us currently.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you
Pretty
were trucking around the Tucson Folk Festival when this came out, probably.
no.
Oh, April. You
This
were
was 2 days
getting ready.
before the flight was supposed to
Yeah,
be.
yes, you were getting prepared for your 36-hour flight. Good times.
Yeah, good's not the word I'd use. But before we can get into our random smash test, we have to do our random rate their chances. Same concept. We got a wheel. We got 20 characters on the wheel. 10 from me, 10 from Jonno. We'll go to who they are in a short bit. We're going to spin the wheel once. It's going to land a character. We're going to discuss that character's chances that we think of the odds that we think that they have of being added as playable into the next Smash Bros. Game. And we'll do that for 5 characters, as we normally do. So, Jonno, are you ready to talk about who the fuck we picked for this fucking wheel?
Oh yeah.
All right. I will let you start.
Okay.
Not like a huge intro, but like very brief.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figure we'll deep dive if we have to, if they're chosen. I chose for rate their chances the until they have a better name, who knows, the Drag X Driver from Drag X Drive or Dragon Drive. Thought it was a cool highlight from the Switch 2 Direct. Certainly one of the more interesting ones. Interesting to see where that might go. Joanna Dark, Black Mage, Mio from Xenoblade 3. Some of these don't need huge intros at all. Mio from Xenoblade 3. I think I already said that. Whoops. Amaterasu. Zero from Mega Man Zero.
Technically Mega Man X.
Yep. Oh, that as well. Yoshimitsu from technically Tekken, but also Soul Calibur. Professor Hector. Because why not? Mappy, because why not? And to your chagrin and my eternal joy in the Party Llama landscape, Biomiracle Bokute Upa.
Oh, when you said to my chagrin, my immediate thought was like, no, we did Moamba last time. Literally, where I thought you were going is like, what the fuck? No, that happened.
He's happily retired these days, I hear.
I'm pretty sure he won the spin last time we did this. I'm not actually sure about that. I'm checking.
Vague memories.
No, he wouldn't. No, I would remember if we did rate their chance for Moamba. Surely I would remember this because he would be at the very bottom. Yeah, no, he did not win the spin for rate their
Because he would
chances.
be at the very.
Do you think he'd have more than a 1% chance? All right, then shut the fuck up. Anyways, my character that I picked for the random rate their chances, a little bit to my chagrin, but and maybe to some people, other people's, but I could see this character working in a. If Steve can work, they can work. Crewmate from Among Us, or are they the crewmate? Then from Arms, I'm bringing on Ninjara because that's who was in contention alongside Min Min. From F-Zero, the popular pick for a lot of people, Black Shadow. From Kingdom Hearts, hey, we broke the barrier. Maybe we can get Riku too. From Persona, hey, they had a remake, so Makoto from Persona 3. From the Mario games, I've got Cappy. And from The Legend of Zelda, I was actually a little surprised. First, I forgot that this was one of mine and not one of yours. Somehow. Minoru from Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
From Nier Automata. I can't find them on my list. There they are. 2B. Or not. Anyways. From Retroland, it's Frogger. You got Mappy, I got Frogger. And then my
Mhm.
last one, possibly my oddest choice. I don't know if that's true or not. But I have
It's up
Tsubasa
there.
from Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE.
Nice.
So, let's bring out the wheel. Here it is in all of its glory. If you don't like the sound effect that it makes when it spins, I can't help you. But here we go. Spin number one. The first character we're going to be talking
We're on
about when
the
this
wheel.
spin concludes will be. This is lasting longer than I thought it would. Okay, now it's almost slow. It's. Oh, we got a good
Okay.
one. We got a good one to talk about here. Mio from Xenoblade
Oh,
Chronicles
good.
3.
Nice. Very nice. Sweet. Interesting because it Xenoblade 3 is the
The newest
latest in
game,
the series, the
technically.
newest game. But yeah, I mean, you do have Expect on the table as well now from the Switch remaster that just came out a couple months ago. So it's like, does that uh, take any sort of precedence? Can we see Elma actually get a shot again, um, or
I think it
Cross or
depends on
whoever?
sales.
Hmm. Which I have not been paying attention to at all.
Me either, because I don't want to look
Um,
up anything about that game until I play it.
uh, debuted at number one in Japan at 75,000. Uh, less than Xenoblade 3's that opened at 1,000 first week. So these are niche games. Of course, they're RPGs. 100 grand is uh, close to like cap for what you can do for this kind of game. I think so. They're doing good.
And I think the idea of it selling
But
less than 3 makes sense and should
mhm,
be expected because for two big reasons. One, we all knew 3 was going to be the like a sequel to both 1 and 2. It was
mhm,
bring we they showed us Nia and they showed us Melia in the trailers. X has first of all was a Wii U game that didn't do so hot. Uh and we
mhm.
always knew from the start it's like it's disconnected to the other games. Maybe someday it will become
Yeah.
connected. We don't fucking know. But those two were those so that's big factors on why it would sell a lot less.
Hmm. Lifetime sales, uh, not accounting for the Switch version, are like 800,000 on the Wii U, which for the Wii U is probably pretty good. And then, but Xenoblade 3 is close to 2 million lifetime sales. So I think it's safe to say Xenoblade 3 made the bigger impression,
Oh yeah.
regardless. And it's still like mainline, which I think is the most important thing. Like even if Xenoblade X broke through, unless it was massive, a massive breakthrough, um, yeah, three takes precedence in my mind, which brings us to the classic argument. If we're going to get a Xenoblade 3 character, is it Noah or Mio? Is it Noah and Mio?
I mean, I think the bigger question, first of all, and this is the question that we really it's hard to take into account always, just like where will the
Yeah.
Xenoblade franchise be when they are picking the next set of characters?
Yeah.
Because
Assuming, yeah.
like this is a so mostly anthology series with
Hmm.
bigger connections than what Final Fantasy has. Will we have a Xenoblade 4 by this point? Will we have Xenoblade X2? Who the hell knows? It's
Yeah.
hard to tell,
I'm.
but we know Sakurai likes the franchise a lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think there's a good bet
Yeah.
that we'll get at least something from Xenoblade. It's just a question of what that will be.
Yeah. It's pleasing to see that Xenoblade has become um a, a keystone like RPG franchise for Nintendo. That's pleasant to see from
Their biggest
almost
modern
not getting it.
RPG, not
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um. So yeah, I mean, with all that being said, it would not surprise me at all if Xenoblade 4 were being developed. In fact, I would bet on that because somehow they turn out these massive ass games like they're nothing like within like 2 to 3 years of each other. It's like okay, whatever works. But Let's see. I know you're looking up the release dates now of these
Yep,
games.
yep, because that doesn't sound right.
4 years, 5 years. Yep. Still pretty fast. I mean, all things considered. Um. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think we're getting. Yeah. I have a good feeling about Xenoblade Newcomer.
yeah.
Who's it going to be? I don't know because
I mean,
we didn't get
the
Smash
main
and yeah.
candidates, generally speaking, are from if they dip back into one, Melia or Fiora are the options. If they dip back into
Mhm.
two, most likely Nia. If they dip into three, Mio or Noah. If they dip into X, I would guess Elmo over Cross. But
Mhm.
they've given us Avatar characters before. But correct me if
Unfortunate.
I think the only trying to think about this here. I want to say it. Have we ever had a complete blank personality Avatar character get in over a more unique character? Because obviously Villager and Wii Fit Trainer,
Mhm.
but I'll they're a different case. Because they would because let's Nook, Isabel, they can do all the same things. It's not really anything
Mhm.
different there. But Violet is who I kind of leap to, like, is that one kind of fitting that mold? But Violet does have stuff going on from does Cross? I don't know Cross. I know Cross you completely customize, but Violet you don't customize. You just change Violet's
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
That's kind of where
Mhm.
I'm going. Whereas Robin, you customize Robin and Corin, but they actually have personalities.
Mhm. Yeah, no, we don't have. I mean, besides the Mies or the Villager, we don't have a perfect Avatar-like character, to my knowledge,
So yeah.
to my recollection. I
So
would I would say it would be Elma too. Like she feels like the primary character outside of Cross.
yeah. I feel
Hmm.
that's the direction you go, or you go complete left field and you pick like an antagonist,
Hmm.
which I don't even know who that is
Hey.
for that game.
Oh, for yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
There's no good
Um,
antagonist choice from three, and from two, it's Jin. I wouldn't pick Malos. I just pick Jin.
yeah, there's a contingency behind Malice, and it's like, I don't know. It kind of feels like God, what's his name from Kid Icarus Uprising again?
Magnus.
Yeah, it's like a Magnus situation again. I'm like, I'm not excited by this.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know.
he was the talk of the town
Um,
for 5 minutes though. Everyone's like, "Oh
yep.
my god, Magnus
Sure.
for Smash!" It's like, and then like a few months later, we were all just like, "Wait, hold on, what were we saying? Wait a minute, no, that's stupid."
Yeah. What? Yeah. 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 What? And why are we constantly bitching about anime sword fighters and then want Magnus and Smash? It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
You could sooner have the dog from that chapter who carries Ring Pit and have him be playable. But I do think Mio has pretty good chances. Like as Xenoblade 3, uh, what an incredible game. Narratively, really interesting. And yeah, it made its impression on me. I think it's my favorite Xenoblade game. So I'm really glad that it's done well, like critically and the market. And has a pretty good shot, I think, at this point, and even a few years down the line, I think it has a pretty good chance of getting some sort of representation in Smash.
Yeah.
Um, which brings us back to like, if we get Xenoblade 3 in Smash, is
Mio
Mio
or
the
Noah.
candidate? Hmm.
It's hard to say because I go back and forth over this in my mind sometimes, and I know last season, the season before, we did an episode over Noah. We did a Smash Up, we moved stuff for Noah, and then I took what we did
Yeah.
and I made for Mio to mirror that.
Hmm.
And we discussed leading up to that episode, like, should this be a Noah episode? Should this be a Mio episode? And I, at the time, said Noah, because while Mio has the more unique weapons, Noah is like the lead, and he has special, unique properties to his sword that Mio does not have with any of her stuff. his sword lets him cut open the Furanis clocks and completely disrupt that
Hmm.
shit, which is what
Yeah.
pushed him over the edge for me there. But there's just as much value in Mio, and part of what makes me look back at Mio is Pyramithra. We got them over
Yeah.
Rex, although we know that Rex
Yeah.
was the original plan, and he decided to drop Rex because technical issues, which I don't quite understand considering we have a swap mechanic with Pyramithra anyways. I don't know. I think maybe he was trying to combine Ice Climbers and Zelda slash Sheik together, and maybe that was the
Hmm.
problem. Ice Climbers
Hmm.
being very simple made them easier, but that's the only thing I can think of there. But because we've got it's Noah with sword, and he kind of wields it kind of Shulk like in a way, which makes sense.
Hmm.
But then he also he has like his samurai sword esque part of it as well. Mia, however, is a chakram
Yeah.
user who, unlike Nia, isn't a healer. She's a tank. She's a tank class with these chakrams,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is interesting. I don't. I think she's supposed to. If I remember, it's been years since I played it. I think she's more of like an evasion focused tank.
Hmm.
Because I mean, those rings are not going to be holding up to attacks, right? Come on. I mean, maybe, and I just don't remember. But I mean, I'm seeing at least one of
Yeah.
her skills is focused on evasion. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
two of them are. Yeah, she's a speedy evasion tank. She gets people to attack her, and she's like, "Ha, missed me, bitch."
Yep. Yep. That is interesting. You do not get that kind of tank in an RPG usually.
Yeah, I mean, it's her for
um.
evasion and Lance for defense.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. My gut does say, Noah is the lead character. It's more of a shared billing for these two characters than most
Yeah,
games. Um, but it's still like, 60-40. I feel like you're with Noah a little more, have more time to develop that. There's the whole bridge
and
arc with the Lucky Seven you're talking about, and yeah, and N and M and all of that. Um, Mio is like inherently more interesting and likable, and I think that happens a lot with secondary characters in a game.
yeah,
That's just kind of, and considering her arc in the game, you know, that makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense. But I don't know. There's still that outside Sakurai chance of being like, you know what, I want to veer from the norm. Although, with a little bit more development time on the front end of Ultimate, it wouldn't surprise me if Rex was the choice. Um, but yeah. So it's pretty confusing still. I'm not 100% sure, but my gut says Noah would be first choice. So just operating from this from the mindset of like, would they also include Mio? Probably not. I don't know. It's hard
the
to say.
the other hard question is based on how the gameplay for the three works. You have
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember the exact. You equip skills from other classes to use alongside your current class skills, and everybody can class change.
Mhm.
And these
Yeah.
class changes are based on not only people from the Agnes side, which is Xenoblade 2 aligned characters, but also the Kavesi side, which is Xenoblade 1 aligned characters. So you could
Mhm.
give either of them. This is something we discussed in the Smashtopia episode of what we do with a Noah moveset. You could give
Yeah.
Mio some of Noah's skills, or you can give Noah some of Mio's skills. Or you could
Yeah.
give Mio
Yep.
skills from Cinna and Tyon.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what they're gonna do? They're going to um have Mio and Noah Final Smash. I'm forgetting the name of
Ouroboros.
what they. Yeah, they're gonna do Ouroboros for the Final Smash with her in it, and she's going to appear in all of the taunts like Rex does for Pyramithra. And they're like,
I
oh,
don't
there
like
you
when
go.
the taunts are all just summon character, do a thing.
She is a cat, just like Morgana.
I was kind of thinking about Morgana there. It's like, listen, like having Morgana show up like for one of them, sure, that's fine. Let Joker have his moment. He doesn't. Morgana doesn't need to be there for every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Jesus.
looking cool, Noah.
No. No.
But yeah, you could give Noah chakrams. You could give Noah a turret. And that would be inherently more interesting. That's how you make it more interesting than Shulk with two different, not even two different swords, but like Shulk with a sword that has another sword inside of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I think if I was gonna pick personally which one I would rather see, I would say Mio. But as far as
Oh,
the odds
yeah.
of likelihood, I feel like I would give either character a similar score, and I think I know
Mhm,
about where I'm gonna give them
mhm.
because I think they both have like very similar chances, and it could be a coin toss for which one they decide to go
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Um, it could be. It could be. I think that that's a good way to streamline it. To just say these are the chances that we would feel are for Noah or Mio. It could be either one. And just operating off the idea that Xenoblade 3 could still be the main game, the latest game in the series at this point, rather, and that it made an impact and has a likelihood of getting a character in. Um, it's it's high, but not very not breaking past 50, not nowhere close. Like 30, 25%.
Wait, how
I'll
is
say
30 or
35.
25 high? I thought you were going like to 50.
No, sorry. It's higher than most characters this season. It's been an odd season.
It has been an odd season.
Yeah.
We picked a gaggle of weirdos.
Indeed. Autobiographical in a way.
To be fair, we used a lot of big characters already, but
Hmm.
still. Uh, did you have a pick number, or are you still debating then?
No, I'll stick with 30.
30. Okay. I'm going to go higher than that. I'm going with 45% chance. Here's my reasoning. I think it's very likely we'll get a Xenoblade 3 character unless the next match is like a very far away. So in my mind, I'm kind of looking at 45% chance of Mio, 45% chance of Noah, 10% chance of a wild card.
Mwamba.
Not that wild card. That's less than 1%. All right. So that will then average out to 37.5%.
Respectable.
Yes. And now it's time for the spin on the wheel.
Okay. The inordinately long spin of the wheel.
Slowing down, we are now going to be discussing.
It's the complete opposite kind of character, isn't
It's Professor Hector.
it? It's tempting to just say 1%, right? But is it really 1%? I mean,
Uh,
you have Rob. Why not bring Daddy in too?
I mean, if push came to shove, I could make something for this guy.
Oh yeah.
Professor Hector is the character from Gyromite, who you control using. Do you control him using, or he's just in the background? It's one of the two Rob games. He's the inventor
Hmm.
of Rob, in lore. Uh, there's the I know that game. You're controlling Rob to like control pillars up and down. I don't know if Professor Hector's like moving on his own or something, but there's enemies that you have to not let hit Professor Hector,
Hmm.
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so in Gyro they are literally trying to keep lizards from
Smix.
igniting dynamite. The Smix, they call that a lizard. It looks more like a parrot thing. Okay, anyway. Good lord. There's something you could do with it. You can involve the enemies from Stack Up now. make it a summoning character. You can Rob doesn't do a lot of stacking in his moveset. You can Professor stack. There are weird ways to make a character like that I am oddly attracted to. I might have to look. But
I mean, though,
as far as chances go, yeah.
yeah, like I could think of things for him to do, like summon like
Hmm.
a pillar appears in front of him as like a blocking move. There's an interesting
Yeah,
idea. Uh, as
yeah.
far as likelihood, you were saying is he at 1%? I'm gonna say he is. I'm just gonna cut straight to it because it's done with this Professor Actor, and we talked a lot about Mio.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say it's 1% here. Here's my reasoning.
Hmm.
While Sakurai does like to do retro characters, I don't think he's gonna dip back into the Rob well. If he's gonna go for a new retro character, he's gonna go for a new game.
Yeah.
Whether that's like a Takamaru, a Sukapon, uh, a Mike Jones, I don't know. I can tell you, I don't think it'll be Professor Hector.
Pro wrestling, ice hockey players. There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, I agree, but I'll just for the hell of it, I'll give him 2%. There
All right, 1.5% it is.
you go.
Back to the wheel then.
Back to the wheel. Controls their lives as well as ours.
All right, our third for rate their chance today is going to be. Oh no! Oh, I can't tell. Oh, just over the line,
No,
Frogger.
it feels
Yeah,
like it was about to choose Upa.
it was. It was going to be Upa. Jonno, for like, cannot see the wheel. Only
Yeah,
I and the
yeah.
viewers can see the wheel. But we are talking about
Mhm.
Frogger next.
Okay.
Speaking of retro characters,
Yeah.
so
You
Frogger's
made
an
a moveset for Frogger, right?
no, I have
Sorry.
not yet, but I have ideas for it. I want to do one. I think he's an assist
Mhm.
trophy on the wiki.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, that's right.
yeah, it's like we like there's talks about retro characters, there's talks about third party characters. We've gotten Pac-Man as our like uh, like when we talk about like older third party characters that haven't gotten smashed, like you will always bring up Ryu Hayabusa as like one of the old guard that hasn't made it in yet. I go
Hmm.
older. I go to the Pac-Man era. I'm just like Rampage, Frogger, Dig Dug.
Pong.
Not that. But Frogger, I'm just like if I'm picking like an arcade era character,
Hmm.
I'm picking Frogger as my third part. As far as personal ones, not likelihood. Likelihood, who the hell knows? But it's like this is we have a very different character, very different body shape, very different movements, very different kinds of attacks, and I love the idea of Frogger being playable.
Hmm.
Is he
Me
likely?
too.
Who owns him? I think Namco owns him as well.
Konami. Konami.
Konami?
Konami.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
That's not good. That's not good. Shit. Uh-oh.
Pachinko machines around the nation.
I mean, we got Snake and
No Frogger.
we got
Signing the record.
Castlevania.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So where do you go for Konami from there? If Konami got another character, I mean, you could easily say, "Oh, an Castlevania character,"
I don't
but
know what all Konami has. Oh, they have Boktai. We can get Django.
there you go. What does Konami own?
I'm just gonna look at recent
Let's see.
Konami
Oh,
games.
Silent Hill, Powered Pro Kun, Contra. Okay, yeah, yeah, like Contra might be, Bomberman.
Bomberman, that's probably the best. They're
Hmm.
they're more
Yeah,
likely, I would guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection.
there you go. You'd be so
I'd be so
befuddled if
confused, upset. I don't think I would be happy because it's like wait no hold on this isn't supposed to happen.
but it is I, the Pharaoh, your
No,
old friend.
you're not supposed to be here.
Uh, Vic Viper can be playable like in that weird TV fighting game where Optimus Prime was also there.
What?
Yeah, there was a there was a crossover fighting game that Konami made with like Optimus Prime, Solid Snake, Vic Viper, Simon,
Okay.
Smash. What was that called?
I don't know.
Uh, Dream Mix TV World Fighters. What
Okay.
a time. Who else? Twin Bee was playable. Bomberman, Master Higgins. I don't know. Like, what are Frogger's chances versus Master Higgins from Adventure Island? I would say at this point, Frogger's higher actually.
I mean, I do see people bring up Adventure Island as a game that they want to see come back.
Mhm.
But I don't really know anything about those games gameplay. Whenever I see people talk about that, I always think of Amazing Island from the GameCube,
Yeah.
which was not
Um,
great.
reminds me that yeah, Amazing Island on the GameCube is adjacent to like Universal Studios Tour on the GameCube. Um, Adventure Island, yeah, I played that back. I mean, when I was a little kid, it was fun. It was good. Made an impact, I guess. It turned into Wonder Boy, which is kind of the more interesting fact to me
It began
because
development as a
Wonder Boy
direct
games are.
port of Wonder Boy,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Yeah.
couldn't, but they didn't have the rights, and so they made Adventure Island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There. Yeah, and then Wonder Boy went off to become like a medieval thing,
Yeah,
which those games are great. The later Wonder Boy games are great. Uh, so all that to say, there's a lot of competition for Frogger and Konami.
there
You
is.
know,
That
hmm
said,
Bomb
I
Bomberman.
I
Yeah.
think outside of Bomberman, at least of like the arcade retro era characters, I would put Frogger above all of them except for probably Bomberman. For one thing, Bomberman is well, I mean they're both. I think both their names are just about as important as the other, but Bomberman gets more games more consistently. Has already crossed over with Nintendo with Wario, and is an assist trophy in Smash Ultimate. Bomberman's got a lot
Hmm.
of pluses there. Frogger
Yeah.
does not have that many. I think Frogger would be more interesting personally. Likelihood,
Yeah.
I do think he has to go below Bomberman, sadly.
I agree that he's up there. It gets a little muddled for me. It's like because Konami has done a lot of weird crossover stuff with Gradius and Twinbee and stuff. I'm like, can we possibly get for real one of those ships in Smash? I mean, it's not totally out of the ordinary, but I would say
No,
it's all nominal, right? Like Frogger is a solid choice for this kind of character. And I think as far as impact goes, it's by far one people completely dissociated with gaming now. Like people in their 50s. Oh yeah, it's
you're doing
it's
that cutout
the
thing again.
freeway. Yeah, yeah. Oh, are we?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll just bring up my coaster. It's Frogger's one of those games that's in the general eye.
yeah,
It's something that older people who
like
did
us.
not, yeah, no, twice our age.
Not twice our
You
age. Come on,
know.
20 years older
Oh
than
no,
us.
like my folks who are twice my age, they'll be like, "Oh, the traffic was like Frogger today," like that sort of thing.
Mm,
It's up there. Um, it's in the general eye, like Tetris is, like Mario is. So it has that going for it too, like
yeah.
versus these other arcade games.
I think they'd be more likely to go for Bomberman, but Frogger, like, there's the only thing difficult about Frogger is you have to be a bit inventive. Uh,
Mhm.
like you can do a leaping, a high jump is your up special. Done, easy there.
Mhm.
Your side can be him doing a short hop, but then a truck comes barreling beneath him and slams whoever's in front of him. What's the
Yeah.
standard? What's the down?
Don't ask us until we
Uh,
make a moveset about it on this podcast.
yeah. Well, it can be figured out, but I think it would be a bit more inventive. Like you can get like the alligator in there or crocodile, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
But I don't know what
yeah.
the full vision would be.
Hmm.
But I think it's definitely doable. Um, because it's lower than Bomberman, I'm not really sure where Actually, have we ever talked about Bomberman? I don't think we have.
Mm-mm.
No, we have not talked about Bomberman. Uh, maybe some other day we will.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna go with just a 20. I think that's a safe number to go with here.
yeah. We're at a good turning point for Frogger now too, to where that like early 2000s design where he was more anthropomorphic is just like eviscerated. So I'm just assuming we would get like literally a frog,
We
which
should get literally a frog. He has.
yeah.
There was a tooth. I pretty sure it was either like a late '90s or a 2000s game where he was like
Hmm.
a frog with like a big old face, and I had that game.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean the frog.
the design from
Yeah,
Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge is what I'm thinking of. That wasn't the game I played, but that's the design I'm familiar with.
let's see, something like that. Yeah, or even like the character art you used in your assist trophy submission on the wiki.
Yeah, that's what I have up on the screen right now.
Nice. 20%. Just for the sake of Konami and also retros, there being a lot of muddling in the water, I'll go say like 15.
Okay, 17 and a half. All right, we got two more spins of the wheel to go. Let's get to it. Our fourth character we're going to be talking about in today's randomized Rate the Chances is. They got close to Upa again. But instead, we're talking about Tsubasa Oribe from
Okay,
Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE.
nice.
This is a half a Fire Emblem character, half of a Shin Megami Tensei character.
Yeah, see,
Well,
she's
really more half
associated.
Persona. It's a crossover with Shin Megami Tensei technically, but the gameplay is closer to Persona.
The vibe is very Persona-esque.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
Persona, but with Fire Emblem and idols.
Yeah, which when that game first came out, I was like, "What the hell is this shit?"
Yeah, I
But
refused to buy it at first, then I kind of just got out on whims and I played it, and I was like, oh, this one actually wasn't that bad. I just wish there was less of a prevalence on the idol stuff, and also, could we please get English VAs?
yeah, I mean, after warming up towards personas, it made a lot more sense. It's like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Um, it wasn't quite a Federation Force situation either. It was just like not being familiar with the franchise.
Now, the only like
Uh,
negative
yeah,
controversy I saw about it was that it was originally like advertised as Persona Cross Fire Emblem, and then it changed to Shin Megami Tensei, and the people that had gotten to Persona with recently were not happy about that.
yeah, yeah. That and the initial trailer had like all of these characters from Fire Emblem shown, and then we got very few and more shadow oriented.
Yeah, it's very much an Awakening slash Shadow Dragon Fest. There's a few that aren't.
Mm.
I'm trying to look at the characters real quick to remind myself who is. Yeah, the main ones are Crom, Sita, Kane, Tharja, Virion, Draug, and Navarre. All of the playable characters are Shadow Dragon
It's
or
like,
Awakening, and then you have Tiki, not as playable but as a very important side character that helps you. And then the villains
yeah.
are a little bit more varied, I think,
Hmm.
but not too much. Like they have fucking Excellus as one of the villainous ones. Like, really? Excellus? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's kind of random in the protagonist area, like Varian. It's like, okay.
They wanted an archer, and there's like, who are our archers from Awakening and Shadow Dragon?
Hmm.
Virian?
Yeah, they're like Varian. Let's get some Drog in there. I'm like, okay. Well,
It's
all
a
that said,
worse
I mean,
situation of what Warriors did.
yeah, yeah, but for what it is, it seems pretty fun. All that said, what Tsubasa's kind of the is she like the first character you
She's
come
the
across in this
Elma.
game?
Tsubasa is more like
Okay.
the Elma. The main character is actually Itsuki, who's partnered with Crom.
Mhm.
But do we need another Marth? No! Stop it!
Get out of here, Alir.
Stop it! I do like its design, honestly. I like Itsuki's design. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But Tsubasa's the pig in my personal opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because she's the deuteragonist. She is well you play as Itsuki, the story more revolves around Tsubasa. Itsuki is just
Mm-hmm.
basically like he's her best friend, and he gets roped into being more or less her manager and like team lead. But Tsubasa
Mm-hmm.
is not the Fire Emblem plot of it is like it's like a C or D plot. Honestly, the main plot is Tsubasa singing, and then rescuing people who get pulled into the idolospheres. And Tsubasa is the full-on lead of all the actual idol stuff, which is the A plot,
Okay, so
really.
she is an idol then.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a brand new idol,
Mm-hmm.
and she's paired up with Sita. So hey, look, it's a Lance user. We've got that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to remember what her magic more aligns to. I think she's more of wind, which is called force in this game,
Oh,
if I recall
okay.
correctly.
That's interesting too. I like that, and I like the idea of Sheeta being playable in the game too.
Hmm.
So if this is the way that we get her in, there you go.
Yeah, it's a way to get a Fire Emblem character that's not a Fire Emblem character that would play a bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can throw music into the skill set as well, but that's all like what they can do and not their likelihood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is where it gets
They're
worse for her.
likely it's not very high.
It's not very high.
Not in
It's
my mind
not
and not
very
in yours.
high. It was originally a Wii U game in 2015, and then it came to the Switch in 2020. The Switch version is what I played. Switch version actually lets
Mhm.
Tiki join in a little bit in combat with their
Oh,
whole
sweet.
chain system they have going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's mainly wind magic, a little bit of fire, interestingly, and then a little bit of stealing life and healing. She's got a good amount of
I would
support.
focus on the wind, but
Yeah,
yeah,
easily.
cool.
Wounded Lance. But
Hmm.
likelihood is being like, here's the thing. Here's the problem. If we're going to get another Fire Emblem character, I don't think they're going to look at Tokyo Morale sessions. If we're going to get another Persona or Shin Megami Tensei character, I don't think they're going to look at Tokyo Mirage sessions.
No, no.
Now, if we were making
They're
a
gonna look at the
roster for,
primary franchises. Yeah.
yeah, now if we're making like a fighting game that was just Fire Emblem, I could see her or maybe like Mamori or Kiria being thrown in as like a, hey, look,
Hmm.
like they're in Heroes. Four of them are in Heroes. Four of
Hmm.
them were added to Heroes like 5 years ago, and then the rest of the cast has not been added in yet. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Even Insys just does not seem to care. So I don't
Hmm.
think there's a good chance at all. I think she'd be interesting. I made a move. I think did I move moves for? I know I thought. I no, I did. I made a move for a few years ago.
Yeah.
But it's not happening. There's just no fucking way. If we're getting another Fire Emblem character, they're gonna go with something else. Probably whatever it was fucking game at the time. Even if they pick an
Yeah.
older
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
even if we pick an older Lance user, it's not gonna be Subasa. 1%.
No,
Not happening.
it's a 1% for me as well. Unfortunately,
Less than Professor Hector.
but yeah,
Okay.
that's the cards we were dealt today.
All right. Well, we have one more card to be dealt. One more spin of the wheel. Let's see who's going to be. We've had two of yours. We've had two of mine. It's been balanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now
Weirdly.
the wheel spins and it begins to slow. And it will finally land on our final Red the Chance character of the day. Nowhere near Upa. So sorry. Instead, it's quite possibly the less exciting Ninjara.
You're right. It is significantly less exciting.
But Ninjara is interesting in their own way because Sakurai was not initially. We know the DLC Sakurai was pretty much told you're adding these characters, which is
Mm-hmm.
different than how he got to pick like the base roster. But based on what he said, with arms, he was not told to add Min. He was told add an arms rep. And the final debate was between Min Min and Ninjara.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put Ninjara on the wheel. So it's the question. So then, if we get a second arms character, then if we get a second arms character, which I think would be told to him, if anything, I don't with it only. I don't know what its sales were, but I rarely see. I don't see people talk about it too much after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get a second arms character, the question is, does he pick Ninjara because that's who he already was thinking of, or since he already has like a I don't want to use the word simple, but a standard kind of arms character with not like with a big gimmick to them. Would he then go with somebody who is a bit more gimmicky, like Helix or Misango, or would he
Mm-hmm.
still just stick with Ninjara? That's the question here with arms. It's do we get a second arms character, and do we go with what he was already thinking of doing?
Mm-hmm. I think if we did get a second arms character, then the chances of it being what he's already thinking of would be likely. Would be likely. Ninjara and Min Min are the two most popular arms characters. Um, and the Ninjara fight is memorable. I fucking hate Ninjara
Yeah,
for
fuck that
everything
guy.
he's done to me. For the course over the course of my short-lived career with arms, not that interesting game. But yeah, I mean, he's a ninja with arms, right? Like so you do the arms mechanics and you have him pop in and out with his disappearing thing, and there you
Yeah,
go.
he can warp when he blocks an attack. Which is his,
Mm-hmm.
like every character has like some level of a gimmick. Some of them are kind of shit, like Springman. It's like, hey, I can adjust my jump. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Ninjara can teleport when he blocks an attack.
Mm-hmm.
What I think makes Ninjara less interesting of a choice is actually how Min Min works in Smash specifically, because Min Min does not work like standard characters in Smash, where like everybody has a standard and a side special. Min Min instead
Mm-hmm.
has two smash attacks,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Uh, where it's just like her punching with her arm. Both the standard and the side special are just the same punch with one arm, and then her smash attack is the other arm, but it has the exact same functionality. And then you could
Yeah.
swap her arms between the dragon, the megawatt, and the it's some kind of chakram. I'm trying to remember exactly what it's
Mm-hmm.
called. The Ram Ram. Meanwhile, I'm looking at Ninjara's arms, and his standard arms are the Chakram, the Buff, which is just a basic punching glove, and the Tri-Blast, which you could kind of take this Dragon-esque, where it goes a step farther and it like shoots out some missiles
Mm-hmm.
on a wire. But that's kind of boring compared to Min Min.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what she already has, but worse. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, I am so pleased we got Min Min in. If we were gonna get an arms character, like that's so cool! Hooray,
Yeah.
guys! We don't need more.
If we're
Um,
gonna get more, give us characters
yeah.
with like unique arm selections, like Masunk, who has the Scorpio, the Gusher, and the Scully. Those would all be
Mhm.
far more interesting than Ninjaras. Or
Right.
what the fuck does Helix have? Well, I know it's a character that you talked about. Blorb, Ice Dragon,
Mhm.
and Guardian. We got Double Dragon there, but the other two would be very different compared to what Min Min
Yeah.
has.
Plus, he can like go up and down in an interesting way.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. I mean, and perhaps that would give Sakurai pause to Jara then,
yeah,
because it's almost a carbon copy of Min, less cool.
yes,
Um. All that being said, I think they would really need to twist his arms to include an arms character because the game did not make an impact. What first year the Switch was out, and then um, But yeah, they and the characters have great designs. It's a like a fresh contemporary character design for this franchise that I like and enjoy. But it's just like from a gameplay execution standpoint, it didn't make an impact. I'm shocked that Nintendo forced an ARMS character on Smash to begin with. Still weird that they're just like, here is randomly Min Min. It's like, okay. Um, but
Uh,
unless we somehow get a sequel.
I'm looking up a little bit about its sales. Apparently, ARMS sold like 2.7 million, which apparently is really good for ARMS considering its genre and when it was released and everything. Apparently, fighting games don't normally sell like crazy numbers outside of like Smash, Mortal Kombat.
Hmm.
And it sold less than like Street Fighter Five, Tekken 7, but it did better than the Guilty Gear and King of Fighters and Pokken Tournament.
All games that are better than it. Oh, Pokken, I don't know. The other two, yeah.
I wish Pokken was better. I like the ideas for. I have some gripes. This is not the time for that.
Hmm. Chandelier for Smash. Anyway, okay, weird. So perhaps there is the outside shot that we get a sequel or like a major enhancement on too.
Yeah, I think we will only get a second ARMS character if we either get an ARMS sequel or we get like ARMS Super Championship Worldwide Edition,
Hmm.
Capcom style, which I don't think would
Yeah.
happen. I think if anything, it'd be a sequel.
Yes, a sequel. Yeah, two arms they can call
Legs.
it. What's the third game?
I can't say that word on this podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so our minds did go to the same. Anyway, and who's to say? But maybe after the session, my perception is viewing this a little higher than initially. So to his credit, um, I'm still gonna go like sub 10%. That can't see it now. Future information may affect future rankings for arms characters, but right now I'll say like I don't know, like 8%.
Higher than where I'm going. I'm going with 3%. Well, it
Hmm.
would be nice to have like a another ninja character in addition to Sheik. Um, his arms are boring compared to Min Min's. And at this time, I with the games that we currently know existing for Switch 2, I don't
Hmm.
see I don't see a second arms character coming in unless we get another arms game. I would be very surprised. But
Hmm.
to be fair, I was very surprised the first time around. I didn't think we'd be getting one initially either. So
Yeah.
there's that.
There you go. There you go.
All right,
Well, cool.
that is our five
With their chances.
chance characters for this random episode. Only two of them are cracking to this season's top 10.
Yeah, good ones though. Um, if you had to choose one character you're disappointed from your side we didn't get to talk about, who would you pick?
Ooh, I was not prepared for this question. From my side, who I'm disappointed that we didn't get to talk about. Honestly, crewmate. I'm not the biggest
Yeah,
Among Us fan, but I think it would be a good discussion.
yeah, I agree. And for me, I'm actually thinking the Drag X driver. I think it's an interesting character idea. I appreciate they're making this game for many reasons, and I
Yeah,
and I hope that it lands, and I hope that it lands and makes more of a positive impact than Arms did. We'll just have to wait and see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, which one of my characters are you most disappointed we talk about?
um, Monero, it's such a me-coded pick. It's
Fair
such,
enough. Fair enough.
and just the eternal discussion of needing more Zelda characters until it finally happens.
Yeah.
What and you for I.
There's a few I'm leaning on, but I'm going to say Black Mage.
Mm. Oh yeah. Still a want all these
Still a
decades later.
want. Even if like I would pick other Final Fantasy characters over them, I like my Black Mage.
I would pick Vivi over them.
I honestly wouldn't because Vivi is a side character. Like he's
Yeah.
important. He's very
That's
important,
true.
but
That's
he's
true.
not the lead of his game.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Now,
fair.
if we were talking Dissidia and we just making a pure Final Fantasy roster, then I'm picking Vivi.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to see the world of fun in terms of Smash as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our Razor chance, but now we got to go into Smash or Dash. We got another wheel for this one. Oh boyos! This time around, we'll only be spinning
Oh
four
boy.
characters, two at a time, and then we'll do our usual Smash or Dash discussions between whichever randomized Yahoos we end up getting. Before
This
we,
could be chaotic.
this could be cocky. It was last time, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So like before, we're gonna reveal who was on our wheel first. So, Jonno, what characters, which 10 characters did you nominate for this Smash
Yes.
Dash?
Well, for my picks, I chose the beautiful Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie. I chose the beautiful Sylvando from Dragon Quest XI. I chose the beautiful Sypha from Castlevania 3. I chose John Raimi from Geist. Jade from Beyond Good and Evil. Revolver Ocelot from Metal Gear. May from Guilty Gear. The Orca girl. Ochi from Pikmin. Raidou from SMT. And the Wii Balance Board. My old nemesis. Packed him away in my closet ages ago.
I have a question for you about one of these characters. Did you
Yeah.
pick May because you know the character and you like the character May, or did you pick May because her weapon is a giant fucking anchor?
Yes. She's okay. I don't know the character. I haven't played the game. I want to play the game, and I have the ability to do so, but it has not occurred yet. But she's a popular character, a popular new character from the franchise. That's why I picked her.
'Cause I would have respected the anchor answer, so
Also, the anchor and the fact that she
yeah, yeah.
is associated with pirates and jelly dolphins. Yeah.
There it is. All right, for mine, my first choice is not weird, but it's different left field. I feel like Plague Knight from Shovel Knight is on mine.
Ah.
He's fun. I've got Sebastian Toot from Wii Music. Mentioned him earlier, but I've got Django from Boktai. We got Dwight from Dead by Daylight. We have
Mhm.
Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Specifically, Adult Daddy Rex. That's fucking right. I've also got Isaac from Golden Sun. You know, there's a normal choice.
Yeah,
Uh,
there we go.
I have Rocket from Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime. He's a slime. That's what he is. I
It's
have
Master
Cat
Nine.
from Gravity Rush. From Final Fantasy 14, we have Alphino. And finally, a little bit of childhood. Putt-Putt from Putt-Putt. The purple car with a dog named Pep.
That's who I'm pulling for.
Well, let's see what the wheel does. This could be so fucking weird. It spins! Our answer will soon be upon us! The first character we will be discussing in Smash or Dash is... It was almost Putt-Putt. I was almost so happy. But it's Raidou from Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Who we talked about recently in our Switch 2 episode. But Raidou's
Yes.
opponent in the Smash or Dash. Raidou's going to be going up against... No fucking way. No fucking way. Putt-Putt. Damn, the wheel's like,
There,
oh, I'm sorry, that's what you wanted? Hang on, let me fix that.
there you go. There you go. There you go.
Ah, all right. So let me get
So
their
why is it going to be
images
putt
up
putt
here.
today? Let's see.
I mean, who knows?
This is just it right here. You have a very standard potentially choice that would make sense and fit the vibe, and there are numerous reasons for the why, like it could realistically happen. And then you have putt putt.
Yep.
Good times. Good times. I enjoy this already. Enjoy this already.
So let's dig
I
into
am
these two
tickled.
characters here. So Putt-Putt is the main character in the Humongous Entertainment series Putt-Putt, starting with Putt-Putt Joins
Mm-hmm.
the Parade. They were a series of point-and-click adventure games for kids. I played most of them. What the? Some of these I think released after I stopped. Like, what the hell is One Stop? Oh, this one, that's a spinoff. Joins the Circus? Is that immediately? Yeah, okay, yeah. Joins Circus, that was after I stopped. I definitely do not remember that game. But I played Joins the Parade, Goes to the Moon, Saves the Zoo, Travels Through Time, and Enters the Race. And, they were enjoyable. I was a little kid, I liked it.
Yeah.
He picks up items that he can do things with. He's got different colors, so you have your easy color changes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pep is easily going to be in taunts. He's actually got a way to do melee attacks besides just ramming himself into people because he can move his antenna like it's a limb. Let me clarify this. Bulbasaur in the anime, Hal uses Vine Whip.
Mm-hmm.
Putt can do the exact same thing.
Bulbasaur and putt putt for arms too.
That doesn't make any sense. So no,
Does in my mind.
you're also a weirdo.
Aren't we both?
No, not
Yeah.
comparatively. But yeah, Putt, he goes on these adventures. Sometimes they are just completely accidental. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, I feel like joining a race today, and I have to get I have to get tune-ups to my parts because I'm not a race car. I'm a normal car. In the first
Yeah.
game, you have to do chores in order to earn money to, well, for one, if you want to change your color, you have to have money to go through the car wash. And then I think also buying pep costs money, so you have to go do things to get that. One thing you can do is like mow the lawn. So you tow a lawnmower behind you, and you mow some people's lawns for money.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a lot. Uh, then there's Raidou, who is a devil summoner,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
typical of
From
the
Devil
Shin
Summoner.
Megami Tensei
Yeah.
games. Yeah, he's the protagonist
Mm-hmm.
of Devil Summoner Raidou Kuzunoha versus the Soulless Army. And he's also was the main character of Soul Hackers, and he's getting a remake now uh,
Mm-hmm.
called Raidou Remastered. Like other Shin Megami
Yeah.
protagonists, I mean, he has his own skills, but he is also a summoner. He can bring out Jack Frost. He can bring out
Mara,
so many. I don't know if Mara's in that game. Let's even
probably.
if it is, let's
Probably.
just say it's not. It is. Yeah, it is. Wait, no, it's in. It's not in his original game, but it is in. It's one of the bosses in Soul Hackers. I don't think I'm not. It
Mm.
doesn't look like he's the main character of Soul Hackers, but he is part of the
In it.
game. Yeah, and then Mara is in Devil Summoner 2, Raidou versus King Abaddon.
Got it. Got it. So yeah, I
Um,
mean, he is Raito to his credit. I mean, he force across several games, and it seems like he's the main character of at least two of them.
yeah, and he's
Um,
also an
yeah,
ally in Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, the
yeah.
version that
I
don't
could have
have
sworn I played.
Dante.
Yeah, there was a Devil Summoner on three. Oh, there was. I played
Soul
that game.
Hackers.
Oh, boom!
Yeah,
Back from the armaments of my deep inner psyche. I'm like, oh yeah, I do character personally.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh, he's a boss and an ally in Shin Megami Tensei 3, and he has a few specific summons to him in those games, being
mhm,
Yoshitsune, Mo Shuyu, Mokoi, Mishiguji, Hitokoto Nushi, Tsuchigomo, And yeah, that's all of them. Those are the ones that like he uses as like specifically his in that game. So I would imagine they probably go for those if he's going to be summoning anything in particular. Otherwise, they might just be like, "Hey, Jack Frost," because it's Jack Frost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's, this character is so very much played across the franchise. I'm partially surprised we didn't talk about him sooner because he's a solid pick.
Because
He's a
neither of us are
solid
super
pick.
knowledgeable about Shin Megami Tensei.
Right, and honestly, did not even remember that I played a game with him in there, and
Yep.
and also like, and it didn't become part of our psyche, I think, until the Switch 2 Direct a while ago. Where it's like, oh,
Uh,
this game is
I
getting remastered.
I knew of him due to other things,
Mhm,
but I wasn't like
mhm.
super knowledgeable. I just know that
Right,
he's
and
also
it's
a
also
detective.
yeah, and it's also like the games that he's a part of. Like SMT3. It's like what we're talking about. Demi Fiend, of course, that's a massively popular character.
Exactly,
So that's
exactly.
where he skirts
And
under
now
the
we have
radar. But it's
Naho
still,
Beno for Shin Megami Tensei
yeah,
5.
yeah. He still has an outside likelihood. I feel, especially with the remake. Um, I don't see it making a splash, like not to the extent that um other like mainline SMT does. But this is not rate their chances. I just want
Nope.
to. So,
And then adding to that, he's not just a summoner. He has like his own skills he can use. One of them's called Boogie Woogie. I don't know.
yeah,
But then
I
he
like
also
that.
comes with a sword and a gun,
Mhm.
just like Persona. Specifically, it's a katana and a revolver. So he's
Okay,
got those
okay.
on his side. He
So
has
he's cool. Like that's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. He has what? Sorry.
I was just looking at some of his other abilities, but they're not combat
Okay.
ones.
Okay.
It looks like I'm trying to see his actual in like his game. It looks like he might only summon it in the game. Those other skills might only come into play in Shin Megami Tensei 3, possibly.
Yeah. You know, yeah, I think the fact that he is that's inherently character and what sets him apart from other choices. He being a summoning character, one of the archetypes that we commonly talk about and tout on the show is like, oh, that would be neat. Ash, who would be the one to take up the gauntlet?
A Shin Megami Tensei character would be a good choice.
hmm So, yeah, I mean, just assuming that you have this character that could summon uh, not only characters from his games, but also like perhaps deliberately some of the more popular demons from ST and like Jack
Ooh.
Frost.
Here's the reason why you don't remember him
Yeah.
from Soul Hackers. He's not the main character
Yeah.
at all. He is
hmm
the ultimate boss of an extra dungeon in the 3DS remake.
Oh, probably didn't even get there. There you
Yep.
go. There you go.
Okay, it look
And,
and there's not a lot of information about his actual two main games that I can find. It's like how he actually functions. So I'm assuming he just
right.
works like normal. He just summons demons and that's it. And then it's 3 where he gets actual attacks.
Is there a demon that he's most uh that is like his go-to, like kind of like Joker and Arsene,
That's not really how Shin Megami Tensei works. Like
right?
you typically would like, from my understanding, I think Pixie is always just an early one in every game. Like
hmm
I know she's the first one for 3. And I think she's
Right.
just
Right.
like
Right.
she outside of Arsene, she's the first one that you recruit in Persona 5. And I want to say
hmm
possibly for she's a forced recruit in 5. I don't think that's the case for 4 and 3, but I'm pretty sure she's early there. I think Pixie is always just early. Uh,
Yeah.
he does have a cat that's not a demon. He just has a cat. that's
We can
important
meow
and
at
can
him in
talk.
response. Like, there you go. Looking cool, Raidou. He has a lot of iconic demons though that he can take out. Like I'm looking. Jack Frost is on there. Yoshi. There's a lot you can pull from. Um, it's the grab bag.
Yeah.
Just and I think they would be most attracted to the characters like Jack Frost, who are very prominent in the eye of this particular gamer sphere. But also, I mean, looking at it, he has these demons that are they're classified by their element. So you can pull from Pyro Order, Frost Order, Volt Order, Wind Order, Fury Order, Pagan Order, Skill. Okay,
Hold
things
on,
get
hold
weird
on,
the more
hold
you
on,
go
hold
down.
on, hold on, hold on.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, yeah. Yes,
Where are you
yes,
looking
yes.
at this?
Right here, there's a wiki. There is a wiki link that I am going to send you. Ta-da!
Okay, okay. There's
And
currently
Megami
no text in
Tensei.
this page.
What? I'm literally looking at the thing right now.
It's the
That's weird.
slash at the end that got added, broke it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that like some
So,
games, there are a lot of different demons.
hmm
I don't know what he gets first. Probably one of the first ones on the list. Is there no Pixie in this game? I don't see Pixie at
yeah, I didn't
all.
see Pit. Me
Huh,
either.
huh. Well, the
We
lowest
have
level
Feng
one is
Kong, but not.
Ukobach, so that's probably the first. If anything, that's probably the first one he gets. Which, oh yeah,
Mhm.
that guy. he's a he's weird. Compared to the
He
rest of the
looks
franchise,
weird.
though, he fits, and all he can do is Augie, Flame Shot, and Fast Escape.
There you go. There you go.
But I mean, I think if they were gonna pick demons from him, they're either gonna just go with Jack Frost, or they're gonna go with
hmm
what he uses in Shipping Out Saints 3.
hmm
Because picking when he doesn't have like anything that's like singularly his in his main game, you're gonna pick like one out of 120 random things. No,
hmm
you're not gonna do that.
hmm Yeah.
But even the ones that he has like in that game, Yoshitsune is basically samurai. You have
hmm
Mishiguji, who does an electric attack. It looks like kind of like a uh it looks like an eel in its first appearance.
There you
Hirokoto
go.
Nushi
Oh,
does heavy force damage, and in its first appearance looks like a giant pig with a big old fan. And it's in Soul Hackers, it looks like a man made out of leaves. Mo Shuvu is it removes enemy buffs, and it's a little girl with like feather hair. You have McCoy who does
yeah.
physical damage and has a boomerang that it tosses. And
hmm
then there's Tsuchigumo who is a spider.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an ugly spider.
His ultimate attack outside of Summon the Spider is Raidou the Eternal. Multiplies Equipper's all damage dealt by 1.5 and all physical Almighty attacks bypass targets most resistances except for repel.
Nice.
That's a really weird description, and
Interesting.
it could have been worded better. That is exactly what the wiki
Yeah.
says.
And what was that move called again?
Raidou the Eternal. It's a passive skill.
I Raidou the it's a I like that name.
Yeah,
Very interesting. That would be his name on the placard when you're playing on in Boxing Ring in Pokemon Stadium.
could be. Or could be Devil
Yep.
Summoner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. So again, you have this very serious character
Mm-hmm.
from a major franchise
Yep.
um that could realistically be portrayed in Smash, a summoning character, um a lot of stuff going for him in the traditional vein. And then you have Putt-Putt.
And then you have Putt-Putt. And I'll just do a
Yeah.
run through of items that you get in the various Putt-Putt games. Some of these will be
Hmm.
varying levels of usefulness / seriousness. But in Joints of
Hmm.
Parade, we have a balloon, which is needed for the game. You get bird seed, a bone,
Hmm.
coins, groceries, a magnet, pep,
Yeah.
a lawnmower.
Yeah.
In Goes to the Moon, you get glowing moon crystals, a key, rocket fuel, steering wheel, nose cone. What the fuck? Oh, for the rocket. Yeah, yeah. And there's also a diagram, a man in the moon picture, and a note. In Saves the
Yeah.
Zoo, there are a camera, cheese squillies, hot cocoa, a log, missing zoo animal list, rope, shovel, toolbox, zoo chow, and cotton candy. What the fuck is cheese squigglies? Okay, these are basically
Sounds like Cheetos.
yeah, they're Cheetos. You use them to feed the giant scary mouse and get it to leave so baby Jumbo can go home safely to Mama Mombasa. John, how the fuck have you not played these
Those
games? These are your energy.
those are words that, yeah, I wish that I played humongous games
That
as a kid.
sounds like shit you would have. They're on Steam!
If I played humongous games, I
You would be
think the
worse.
bell curve of my life would have been significantly altered. Like right now, still be at what I would consider the height of my life. Had I played these games,
Mm-hmm.
they would have imparted something on me.
I bet.
Yeah, I want to play them. The Switch version is like of the collection is a lot. It's like $70. It's like, what the hell? I was looking this up earlier.
Dude, I got the
Steam would be the
entire
way to go.
humongous bundle on Steam for a discounted price years ago.
There you go. That's probably why Steam was like obnoxiously opening again and again and again this morning as I was trying to get it to close to record this episode. So it was a
Hmm.
sign to return later today and buy Putt-Putt.
I was going to do all the games on Slickster Gaming, and then I slowed down. I just stopped. Like shit, I need to get back to doing the rest of them.
Mhm. Yeah,
But back to
yeah.
what other items he has in Travels Through Time, which might be my favorite of the games. You also get a calculator, a history report, Smokey the fire engine lunchbox. Items get lost time. You got to go stop. You're gonna back up the timeline if you don't get them back. An abacus, armor, balloon maker, battery, dragon food, firewood, gold bar, hay, keyring, newspaper, nickel, oil can, package, rocks, rope, stone bowl, four different kinds of stones, being blue lapis, green slate, pink marble, and white quartz, a storybook, wire cutters, chewy, fruity wagon wheels, firewood, a joke book, mouse and wheel, pie tin, and a shield. There's a lot in there,
And a
Jared.
shield. The way, what a way to cap it off.
I'm just
And a
grading
shield.
the
He
order.
can just, yeah, barrel through like Captain America through it.
And then in Putt-Putt Into
Yeah.
the Race, we have gas can of extra high-powered, high-octane gasoline,
Hmm.
race helmet for Pep, not for Putt-Putt, that'd be silly, race tires, a racing flag, batteries, a brick, a flashlight, grapes, honey, hook, ladder, milk, milkshake, tire patch kit, produce box, pumpkin seeds, shovel, bottles, coins, junior fire marshal badge, buried treasure, brick, grapes, hubcaps. Oh, and then it's repeating some of these for some reason. Because milk, milkshake, and shovel are set again. And then in Putt Putt Joins the Circus, which I am not familiar with. There is Bag of Peanuts, Cannon Angle Blueprint, Circus Flyer, Clown Nose, Flea Entourage, Flowers, Francine's Bathing Suit, ugh, Handsaw, Honkish Translation Book, Juggling Club, Large Umbrella, Magnifying Glass, Net, Pool Patch, Power Shake, Recipe, Reginald's Costume, Security Form, Small Umbrella, and a Trampoline.
I want Putt Putt and Smash just to see what Reginald's costume would look like on
Uh, it is. I can't really tell what it's supposed to be.
it. You can have the circus be what would the Putt Putt stage be?
I see. Puppet Stage would probably just be his town, which I think is called Carville. If I
Classic.
remember right.
You're right. This is
Cartown.
exactly the kind of shit I would
Cartown.
get. Yeah. This is awesome. This is exactly the kind of shit I would just in a dream one day. Like, oh, Putt the car lives in Cartown, and he wears Reginald and the flea entourage. Shit, that's awesome.
That
That
is a
is
screenshot
awesome.
from the first game.
Okay.
So yeah, we got these two characters.
Mhm.
Uh
I feel like one is the respectable choice, and
yep.
one is the one that we're going with.
Yep.
That's kind of like that. Like it feels okay. I'm gonna hold the brakes on that. What is your what are you voting?
I missed that last part. It was what are you what?
Oh, who are you voting for today?
It's honestly difficult. I like my summoner ideas. I think a Shin Megami Tensei
Hmm.
character just makes a lot of sense after we've gotten
Yeah.
Persona. I have no personal attachment to any of the Shin Megami Tensei characters, whether it's Flynn or Raidou or Naho Beno or Demi Fiend or
Hmm.
Jeremy.
The
I don't
boy
know.
with the ring
The
thing,
boy with the
something.
earring is from Persona 1.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, yeah. What a time.
Jesus. Uh, I don't have any attachment either way to any of them.
Hmm.
So, Raidou's the choice. Sure. I would not mind if he's the Shin Megami's choice. And then we have Putt-Putt, who is absolutely not in the same category as Raidou by any
Right.
respect. Any respect. This is a childhood character. He is a
Hmm.
small car.
Not even the kind of
I'm
character that you
having
would
to logic
generally.
myself away from it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This
If
is not
like if this was
even
like against
generally.
Isaac, I would be like, okay, no, sorry, Putt Putt. But Rhino, like
Yeah.
I have no attachment here. I can just say Putt Putt
Right.
if I want to say
Right.
Putt
Right.
Putt.
Right. Right. You can, and it's funny too that this is the character that you're attaching yourself to. Like because again, like this is the kind of thing that let's do this shit and have a car be playable. Normally you would be like, I don't know how this is gonna work.
Well, here's the difference. I've played these games. I know how his body works.
Yeah.
That's a weird sentence to say. Uh, I
Yeah,
know how
clip
Putt Putt
that.
could
Clip
actually
that for the
work.
real. Yeah,
Like a
there you go.
horse. I can't imagine a horse like your opponent jumping up into the air very well. Putt Putt,
Play Hyrule
however,
Warriors.
can bounce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jumping forwards, Jonno, is not the same thing as jumping up into
Mhm.
the air.
Yeah. 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 Just straight up.
Yes,
Straight up.
exactly. So yes, I'm going to
Well,
say Putt Putt. Fucking sue me.
okay. 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 And do I
Yeah.
it's like do I just say it? Do we just say it or do we send this to the voting cast, the audience?
Remember,
Um
don't just send them the things just to send them the things. Pick what
mhm.
you want to pick. Don't only
No,
tiebreaker if
no,
you
yeah, yeah.
actually feel the other way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um I'm torn for the same reasons though because Raito by all means is the logical pick. It's the serious pick and there's a lot of good going for him just right. It would be interesting to forward through and I think that he would have a chance like like in the early rounds of champion to engage some serious interesting discussions with. Um but there's not a detachment character smasher logic driven necessarily, not always. It is just like inherent, like you said, like, oh, I could just go with what I want. That's the whole. So yeah, Putt-Putt's winning today.
Putt-Putt
There you go. I mean,
defeats
you
Raidou Kuzunoha, the 14th.
yeah,
Yes, the 14th.
you got me with the whatever the hell you were saying with the Mambo Jabusa fucking Cheetos. Like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Defeating the mouse.
Hell yeah.
Touched my heart. Touched my heart.
Well,
I also don't care about Raidou. Cheers.
maybe when we play his remake, we'll care about him. We'll be like, oh, we fucked up. But that's a
Probably,
problem for the
honestly.
future.
Probably. He looks cool. He has a lot going for him. Whoops.
Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, we got a second Smash Dash matchup to go through. Let's bring back the wheel and see who'll be competing this time. We had two of my characters. Maybe this one will be two of yours.
I don't know.
The wheel spins.
Wait, what?
And the wheel.
Actually, Raidou was my character.
Oh. Well then.
Yeah.
The wheel lands on someone I think you want to talk about. It's May.
Oh, sweet.
May's opponent, however, slowing down, and it's gonna land on just barely not on Ochi. It's Cat from Gravity Rush.
Oh, interesting.
We've got one of each of our characters again.
It's fairly evenly matched. It's just from like, okay, cool, good. So, yes, May is a character from Guilty Gear. More of the recent games. Actually, she was there from the beginning, as it turns out. But she's But what was the last game that came out? It was Strive, where she really became a fan favorite character. Hardy Dolphin Summoning based moveset, which also includes fighting with a giant anchor. She is the first mate of the Jellyfish Pirates, and is dedicated her Johnny, the captain of the Jellyfish, and he is this man who fights with a wooden stick. Okay. Anyway, she has an anchor. We've made the right choice.
She has a giant fucking anchor.
Yeah. And that's the core of the moveset, like combo based giant anchor tanking. And she's friends with aquatic animals who she summons for her moveset. Mr. Dolphin, an otter named Dodomezaki, and a killer whale named Mr. Goshawagara. It's like, okay.
Yep.
And that tickles my heart to see this occurring. You can see the confluence of all of these sea animals coming together for like a final smash.
And the attack with the killer whale is called Deluxe Goshogawara Bomber, which has an upgraded version of it called the Wonderful and Dynamic Goshogawara.
I love this already. I love this already. So I mean, and so with her, you are representing a next tier kind of fighting game franchise that has been around for a while. I'm forgetting who the publisher, and it's Arc System Works. Okay,
Yeah.
And by extension, like Sega and Namco at different times. Okay, so a major fighting game franchise that between like that and like BlazBlue, I think that might have the edge because
Don't they make BlazBlue as well?
Yeah.
I thought they made both series.
They do.
Okay.
They do. Yeah. That's why I made the comparison. But also like you're getting this character fun and outgoing who and is a pirate and brings pirate-like shit to the team. It's like, okay, those are a lot of plus.
Yep. We don't have a pirate
Just right
yet.
off the bat. Yep. How about Gravity Rush? Good
So
old cat.
So I've only played the first game so far, so I don't I probably will play the second game, so I'm not going to try not to look to anywhere in that spoilers. But Kat's origins are odd. We don't know.
Mhm.
We know she fell to the world at some point somehow onto a city that floats through a void essentially, and she has the power to basically fuck with gravity, both her own and the gravity of others around her. She's able to not necessarily fly through the air, but she can more or less float and then redirect herself to go flying in a complete direction by re-enabling her gravity, but changing where the point of gravity is for her. So she'll
Mhm.
go hurtling. It could be like the side of a building. It could be her new focus of gravity.
Yeah.
She can then like she has other attacks where she can like basically create like a well of gravity and just, like make other people around her float and then carry them around as she flies through. When she's flying her more or less like a human missile, she can do a gravity powered kick that does extra damage. She has other attacks that I'm trying to find if they're on here, where she can like kind of become like a human gravity drill,
Mhm.
just doing a whole bunch of kicks, just
Yeah.
like in one focus
Yeah. Yeah.
spot. This week does not have a lot of her attacks on here. Maybe I have to go like to the games page or something. I don't really know. Uh, no, there's nothing there either. Cool, amazing, fantastic. She's also not the only gravity-related person in the game. There is one other Raven. We don't know much about her at all either. We just know that they both can shift gravity. She's got a gravity slide, which basically just like sliding it around the ground, like at a quick speed. Like imagine imagine like snowboarding, but you can just do that on a flat ground and going at that speed. Is basically
Mhm.
what she can do with that. Going up walls and shit. She's kind of simple in that respect, but it's more like the thing with her is just being able to mess with her gravity and anything around her.
Right. It's kinetic force. It's like a melee based move set. Like it's kind of almost Captain Falcony, but with just with how forward you are at the punches and kicks. But gravity,
She
much
she would
gravity.
she would be very aerial, very
Hmm.
aerial.
Yeah, and floaty, I would imagine, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played Gravity Rush. Unfortunately, just the demo on my short-lived experience with the PSV, maybe a month. I was like,
I
why do I have this?
I liked
Uh,
most of the game, but then it lost me in its
mhm,
final chapters where we just rush to the end
yeah,
to solve the B
mhm,
plot, not the A plot.
yeah. Weird, bizarre, bizarre. Um, yeah. I mean, it was fresh and it was giving. When
Oh,
it first came out, it felt like, oh
there
yeah,
they
the
are.
Vita has some sort of leg. There what is.
Her other skills I'm looking for. Spiraling Claw, where she's like basically makes herself be like a gravity drill that charges forwards. Gravity
Mhm,
Typhoon, where she can draw things in to do multiple hits to them. Oh no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Well, while she's spinning around, she creates rocks and rocky spikes around her and launches them forward at foes. And then
mhm.
Micro Black Hole, which
Oh
creates
God,
a small
terrifying.
black hole that engulfs her and unleashes a series of destructive energy pulses around in the area, repeatedly striking
Hmm.
anything in its range. And then she'll have like apparently it's gonna be like new styles in the second game called like Lunar style, Jupiter style that change how her manipulation works, which Lunar is more lightweight and faster and comes with a wormhole kick, while Jupiter is heavier. She can block physical attacks and has a surge kick, which has like a shockwave. And I'm not going to read any. Oh nope, I read too far. She has a transformation called Panther mode, where she fuses with her cat Dusty, which is what grants her these gravity powers, to greatly increase her physical attack speed, and just her regular speed and her health regen. And I don't want to read any further because I don't want spoilers for Gravity Rush 2. But she
Yeah, yeah.
has she can change up how she's doing her gravity. She's also got
Nice.
costumes that aren't recolors, and oh boy. There's a schoolgirl outfit, there's a spy costume, which is
Yes, there
very
is.
open on the front. She has a pink military outfit, a maid costume, and then in the second game, she's got a jazz singer outfit, a waitress costume,
Okay.
a nurse, a new version of the schoolgirl outfit, uh, a tank top and very small shorts. Apparently, what she wears when going mining. I don't fucking know. Recolors for lunar and Jupiter style. Oh no, I may be scrolling too far at this point. I need to go back. I
If only Steve wore that in the Minecraft movie.
I may have got a spoiler about one of these costumes. There's a
Ruh-roh.
superstar and a. This says Cali Angel. It looks more like a rodeo girl. I'm gonna send you what I mean.
Yeah.
Not the preview picture, but you click the link.
Hmm. Okay, that's weird.
You know what
Yeah,
I
but I
mean
agree.
now. And she
Yep.
was a DLC character in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, which I did not
Hmm.
play as her because
Oh,
I did
nice.
not
I forgot.
I played my cousin's game, which did not have the DLC in. So
Yeah. Yeah.
apparently she has a 2B costume.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the costume choices here, like, oh, she has a
Uh,
schoolgirl outfit. I'm like,
I know in the first game, I can't speak for the second game, but the first game, like schoolgirl outfit, she used for, like an undercover mission because like a kid's gone missing, and then the other ones,
Yeah.
the military one, I think you also get that one through story, but then the maid and the spy you get through side stories.
Okay. Interesting. Is that Baby Mario?
What?
I like Baby Mario. Oh yeah, that is Baby
Oh,
Mario.
in my
That's
background, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
The baby, the
He's been there
baby.
before. That's not new.
Oh, what? I'm just noticing him now. Touches. Anyway,
Anyways, May and Cat.
May also had. Okay, so I looked into it a little more. She had her ship. The jellyfish pirates are steampunk pirates. They have the May ship 2 is where they live, and it's also a giant flying blue whale, which I will also send you that link. I was like, oh, that's
Ah, I see.
really fucking cool. It's like, okay.
May's had a couple of different designs over the years. It looks like she has like a mostly unified look, but like her more recent
Mhm,
look, really outside of like the skull on her hat, really strips away all of
mhm.
her pirate designs. Because instead it's just like here's an oversized hoodie and
Right,
a big
right.
floofy hat with a skull icon on it.
Mhm. Right,
Like there's
yeah.
nothing about that besides the skull that reads pirate. But like I'm looking at like just her design from the game previous, Guilty Gear Third. No, yeah,
Hmm.
this one looks pirate. Her current
Yeah,
outfit does
yeah.
not.
That's true. Oh, hey, that's the
I wonder.
dichotomy, I guess. You
I
can
wonder if
give her
like
these
does she
different outfits.
change? Does she leave the pirates for Strive? Maybe.
I don't think she does. Like there's a lot of
Nope, doesn't look like it. She's
interesting
still at
stuff.
the ship,
Yeah.
unless like collectively they're not pirates. But that seems weird.
Hmm. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. But still, I mean, there's Sky Pirate. She fights with an anchor, and I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, no,
There's a lot of
absolutely.
interesting. There's a lot of interesting characters in. Like, that's why we could have gone with like Soul Guy, who would be the obvious choice for Smash if this was Raid their chances.
Yeah.
It's like,
If
you
this was
know,
a normal Smash Bros. Episode, it would be Soul versus Blast Blue Boy, whatever his fucking name is. Uh,
Ragna.
yeah, but this is a random one, which means we can do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And get a little more interesting than the fighting game tend to get.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm looking at like
yeah.
at her gameplay page, which does not have a lot of information. I'll just read what
Mhm,
it says here in her playstyle.
mhm.
Mei is a close range character and a powerful attacker who specializes in charging at the opponent. I like the sound of that
Hmm.
personally. She's defined by her
Yeah.
amazing normal attacks, having great hitboxes that usually give her priority, as well as her extremely good air mobility. Mei has one of the better backdashes and one of the highest super jumps, combined with strong aerial normal. So we have two aerial-based characters. Damn it,
Yeah.
we'll keep doing it.
Unintentional.
Yep. Her main move
Yeah.
is Mr. Dolphin, attack that allows her to ride a dolphin both horizontally or vertically. The vertical attack is for anti-air and has little pushback, while the horizontal is an all-around good tool for neutral, pressure, and combos, being used as a
Hmm.
poke after one. In Strive, Mei has only two mobility options, and the rest of her moves are slow and hard hitting. While she doesn't have nearly as much control and escape potential, she can hit harder with a much lesser execution barrier in return. Still a rushdown heavy character, who will stay close to her opponent
Hmm.
and apply pressure, but needs to remain unpredictable, such as mixing up low and overhead attacks and using the heavy and light Mr. Dolphin options appropriately.
Hmm.
And I'm just looking
And
like,
bringing in, yeah,
yeah, then I'm just
looking at
like
what?
looking at like the list of what her commands are. Uh, what the hell? Okay, that's a kick attack. I see.
Yeah. The Dodome Zaki, the otter, is training under who is this? Chip, a a character who fights with a curved blade, and he is learning to become a ninja assassin.
Huh?
The otter, the otter is. I'm like, okay then. Um,
Uh, Our Arasugawa Sparkle, previously called Don't Miss It, May calls for an otter to launch a blue and white beach ball in a high arc, which bounces on top of the opponent's head when it lands.
yes, hell yeah, hell yeah. There you
I feel like I need to watch gameplay of this series.
go. Right. That is
Unfortunately, it
that's
looks
cool.
like Strive like severely cut down. It looks like
Mhm.
how it looks. Unless this is just a list of new things, it looks like Strive cuts down a lot of her moves to just be a smaller amount. Because she
In
has
the
a
gameplay
lot
that I
more in
saw of,
third, and it looks like even more in XX.
mhm. In the gameplay that I saw of her, which was Strive, because I was looking to see if I wanted to eventually buy this game, which I will. I don't know. The moveset seemed pretty cool. Like I know what was his name? Gosa Goat Mr. Dolphin and
Are
yeah,
you
cool.
speaking?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I was not able to hear you, no. I heard
That
Gosagawara, and then there was just silence. You fixed this before, and now it's acting up again.
I fixed it before by doing tap to talk, which really wears out my finger.
Mm,
But but I guess I'll have to go back to it in a future episode. Um, she
get a
still
new
has all the
laptop.
animals and stuff. Was eventually that was going to happen, but then I needed to get a new car battery today. It's like whoa, haha, and a new dishwasher. Yeah,
Hmm.
being
You
an
can wash
adult is
dishes
a
by
wonderful
hand.
experience. Yeah, well, irrelevant to the conversation, so I'll move on. But there's a story there, though. However, yeah, what she has all the animal friends, and the gameplay that I was looking at was from Strive. So at least there's that. If having that as a basis, if they cut anything else. Um, yeah, two very at the start I said it was a good match. Both like these cool um female characters who are offbeat and fighting, but then it turns out they also are both more aerial based characters. Oh,
Yep. Yep.
and And I would be happy, in a theory, in the great simulation of Smash, I'd be happy to play as both these characters. Really cool and fresh designs, and from neat series that are um, forward and contemporary, and I like them both inherently for many of the same characters to talk about. Where'd you lose me that time?
It was in and out.
Oh, okay. You got a good, decent bird. Decent.
Both, I mean, both characters, yeah, they both have like a lot of aerial stuff. I think one would be a lot more technical than the others with the gravity manipulation and having to really figure out what you're doing with that. Whereas May, I would not call her a standard character at all. Giant
Mm-hmm.
acres, summoning of animals, uh, but closer to a regular fighter than Cat is for sure. I'm curious, and this doesn't really matter at all. But I'm curious to know like what is her level of importance to the games as a whole compared to Soul. I don't know if like the games like if this like everybody else always having like their own story going on or if there is a central plot. I I don't know Guilty Gear period or Blast Blue for that matter. I just know that they both have really varied casts, flashy attacks, uh, and some real fucking weirdos.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They do, don't they?
They do.
I moved back to push to talk. It is really messing up my ability to use my web browser at the same time, but I bet you can hear me now.
I can't hear you now.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
She's been around a long time, like since the first Guilty Gear, it seems like. So she's got that going for her. Again, like Strive, she's a top tier character that people latch on to. Um, and there's a lot to her story, it seems like. So, but in relation to Soul, I don't know. Like I haven't played the games yet.
Apparently, there were nine initial characters in the first Guilty Gear game, and then three others that were unlockable. It was her, Kai Kisk,
Okay.
Soul Bad Guy, Dr. Baldhead, Potemkin, Chip Zanoff, Zato 1, Milia Rage, Axolo, Cliff Underson, and the unlocks for Testament, Justice, and Biken. Okay.
Wonderful. Names that one day I may know more about.
Probably not.
No, probably not. Although I might buy Strive. Might do that. But
Maybe you
buying
will.
and playing are two very different things.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. How long did it take me for me to play Last of Us?
I don't know, 6 years or something like that.
Not quite six. 3 or 4 though. But four is probably a good number.
I like 4. It's clearly divisible by 2.
Yes, sure is.
It's-
Okay. So May and Cat. Where do we stand with the two of them?
yes. Yeah, I have a pick, but it is it's difficult in a way. It's again, there are two these are two characters that are initially closer in comparison than we thought. Not quite Mallow and Phosphor levels, but it's like okay, they're both characters that have good aerials and they are um, rush down so it's interesting. Um, I don't think it's surprising. I'm gonna go for May. The offbeat nature of the character, the animals, the sky pirate, the anchor, and being a little bit more of a on the ground character, rush down, close up fighter. Like this is a character I would love to play as. Like the style of character, I think is something that I gravitate towards in Smash. You know, like a forward facing, not a keep away character. I like that play style. So for those reasons, and just being so cool in a strange way, I'll go May.
Okay. For me, we've got rushdown character with big old weapon, and then we have character that's vastly more technical. You got to know what you're going to be doing with cat. Uh, Float in the air, pick where you're going, slam into a person. I am going to go with May. Here's why.
Oh,
I played Gravity Rush 1, haven't gone through 2 yet, but I struggled in the beginning to play the game, to do any of the combat with the game. I was like, oh my god, this is so hard. And I still was not good by the end of it. Um, and I've got some negativity there. And then just like the end of the game, I wasn't like super enthused how it ended. So like I'm not like super attached to Kat. She could be interesting, but I'm not all in. May
right.
though, rush down, big heavy weapon. I like that kind of fighter. It's kind of character that I
Yeah.
like to play as. And when you have like, I know Cat more than I know May, but I'm not attached to either or. And when I'm not attached to either or, but one of them's gameplay sounds like it fits more my style, yeah, I gotta go May. I gotta go May.
Yeah. There you go. It's gonna be May.
It is May. It is May, and it is
While
Putt
we're
Putt.
recording this, yeah, it is.
Two of them are now going to be moving on for the Tournament of Champions at the end of the season, which is quickly coming up.
Yeah, what a crew. What a crew
What
we have
a
created.
crew this season's going to be. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how the season will go. I mean, there's a few
Me
that I
either.
could be like, oh, yeah, you probably have a good shot.
Hmm. Hmm.
But beyond that, it's feckin' man. I don't feckin' know.
Putt is here to win them all.
Yeah. All right, so let's do what we did with RTC. What character from yours and my list are you
Oh
most
yeah.
disappointed we didn't get to see?
From your list, I don't. It's difficult to say. There's a lot of strange and cool picks. I'll say Plague Knight actually. Like he's a cool character, and you know of the different characters you can play as in Shovel Knight, I think he's the most interesting. Just from like a character standpoint, but also from a moveset potential standpoint. That would have been neat to explore in a discussion. Um, if I was going to troll, I would say Sebastian too. Uh, on on my end, you know, I got what I wanted most with talking about May, honestly. But um, I don't know, like Ochi would have been a. I think that's a discussion that could actually happen again. That happen at some point. Like it's a sound choice. Not only pet the dog, you can play as the dog. So this maybe Ochi. I mean, we'll see if he gets a shot another time.
Okay. Uh, from my side, I'm gonna say for my list, I was actually man, there's so many I was kind of thinking. I was like, for a lot of these I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna actually just say Django from Boktai. Boktai is not a game that I think a lot of people know about. It is a series that has a sensor on its Game Boy cart to sense the sun. You were supposed to play this game outside. This
Yeah.
is a Hideo Kojima creation. And there's a lot that you can do in this game. You're a solar powered vampire hunter, and he's got a lot of unique weapons and tools that I think would be very interesting to use. From your list, I'm not familiar with the majority of the characters on this. It's like I can't say John Raimi because I don't know who the fuck he is, other than apparently he has a ghost form. Okay,
He would have
sure.
been able to possess
Oh,
objects and people.
then I will just pick Sissel from Ghost Trick.
The better game. Geist was not well received.
Well then. But for your list, I actually am gonna say Ochi, honestly, and I was thinking that
Oh,
before
well,
you
there you
said
go.
it. Uh, like Grintilda, I mean that's a guarantee to talk about at some point. Sylvando, I kind of stopped right after recruiting Sylvando. Scytha, Castlevania 3 is just there's nobody has anything special. There's nothing there. I don't know John Raimi. I don't know Jade. Revolver Asla, could I watched the games, but I don't feel like I could talk confidently. Wii Balance Board is the Wii Balance Board, so the answer is Ochi.
And there you have it.
There you have it. That's that. Ah,
That's that.
that is that. Next time on Supercast Brothers, we've got another special episode for you. Last season, we were like, "Hey, what if we made a Smash Champion moveset live on camera at the same time? We're not presenting ideas we came up with. We are coming up with them during the recording, and we're doing it again in Left 4. It's going to be Pokemon, but the theme is going to be different. It's not going to be Gen 9 Pokemon. It's instead going to be based off of types. But which specific types?
Mhm.
Watch the episode and find out. Or just wait till it's uploaded and then decide. Then, I mean, I don't know you. Do what you want. Uh, but I'll also say, like, in terms of like a normal episode, what's happening next, it's an on topic. And we're talking about a franchise that isn't Smash. Our thoughts on that franchise, our history with it, and the guests' thoughts and impressions on that franchise as well. And well, I know some people are going to be very passionate about talking about it. We'll see when we get there.
Well done.
All right, that's it. Good night. So long, and feed your fish.
Thanks for all the cheese curls.
They're cheese squigglies.